So let's talk about our Blackboard shell for MicroLab. All of my Blackboard shells are pretty much the same, but the areas that you want to kind of focus on: course information, course content, announcements, my grades, and mail. Those are going to be the things that you need to focus on in my Blackboard page. So under course information, you have this Start Here folder. This is all of these little videos that are going to show you how to use things, what things are, what's important, what you need to know as far as information, how not to fail your exams, etc. Under that, you've got my contact information and you've got my cell phone number. This is the quickest way to get a response from me. You have an emergency and you need an immediate response. Texting me is the fastest way to do that. You want a response in 3 weeks? Email me. I'm terrible at checking my email. I'm not going to fib to you about that. I'm horrible at checking my email. But I always have my phone and I usually text back within an hour and a half. The only times that I don't text back are if I'm in class, if my hands are, covered in bacteria, if I'm asleep, if I'm in the restroom, or if I'm in the shower. Other than that, I'm pretty quick to text back. The only other exception would be when I take care of my brother. When I do that, I have to take care of my brother, so I can't necessarily answer text right then. But I will get back to you within hours. It won't be weeks. Here is my schedule. If you want to know where I am and what I'm doing, this is the best way to do that. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have a packed day from 8 to 2 when I'm in class nonstop. And then from 2 to 3:30, I'm prepping for MicroLab. Mondays and Wednesdays are a little bit more lenient in the fact that I have a lot of Lifesize time and only one class. But if you need to know, can I get a hold of her right now? That's kind of the best way to tell where I'm at and whether I'm going to be able to give you an immediate response. I will say though, if you call me and I don't recognize the number, most likely I'm not going to answer. If you text me, tell me who you are and what class you're in, then I go, oh, okay, and I text you back. Syllabus and tentative schedule. Within this folder, you will find exactly what it says. You'll find your syllabus. My advice with the syllabus is download it and print a hard copy and keep it with your stuff, because the schedule's in there, important information is in there, like how to get in contact with me if you need to. Let's say the internet is down, you're not going to be able to get here. It might be better just to have a hard copy. Now, right below that though, you do actually have the syllabus that is in this. So you'll see that I've got day-to-day what we're doing, what experiment. We've got a media making day for my online students. That is basically going to be a study day. But for my face-to-face students, we have to make media so that you can do bacterial culture. So that day, that is what we will work on. You can see the experiments, what day the practical opens, what day it is due. A practical exam is an exam that basically you have to explain why we do the experiments and what each step in that experiment does. Practical exams are as if you were to walk into the lab and I were to hand you something and go, tell me what this is and why we do it. It's important that you study for that practical exam because it is a huge % of your grade. Now, past that, you've got more experiments, and then you've got your unknown. The unknown report is, if you were in my face-to-face class, me going, here's a bacteria, tell me what it is. And you would do all of the experiments that we have learned so that you can basically figure out what that is. The lab manual, that is a required textbook that you have to buy, gives you insight into what your results for your experiments mean, which is one of the reasons why it is a required textbook. You need to have that. because for this, that is the largest percentage of your exam. It's 35% of your exam grade, your whole entire grade. This is the biggest thing. That lab manual is going to save you for that. So keep that in mind. And then the last couple of days for my face-to-face students are going to be the lab cleanup days, where we make sure everything has all of the materials that it's supposed to, our little lab kits do. If we need to clean glassware, if we need to autoclave, all of that happens during those 2 days. Going back up to course information, that was my syllabus and tentative schedule folder. Here is our McGrawHill Connect information. Because of all-inclusive access, as long as you didn't opt out of it, you have access already to the McGrawHill Connect website, where your tests, your quizzes, your virtual labs, all of that stuff is going to be there. So I'm going to ask for a favor. When you make your account, keep track of what username and what password you used. One of the things that has been happening more recently is people have used McGrawHill Connect in the past, and then when they log in, they're making multiple accounts. Don't do that. Whatever you used to make the account for my class, know what your username is and know what your password is. If at all possible, use your CBC email, and please, whatever first name and last name you have here at CBC, use the same first name and last name in McGrawHill Connect. McGrawHill Connect and Blackboard have to interface so that your grades transfer from one to the other. If you do not use the same name, sometimes they don't interface, which means sometimes your grades don't get transferred. Now, you can tell me what name you prefer, if you prefer a nickname or whatever. You can tell me your pronouns. I don't care as far as me, one-on-one interaction with you. I don't care. That's great. I have no problem with that. But for the sake of getting your grades transferred, try to keep to what CBC has. That way, we don't have an issue with my grades that didn't transfer. Okay? So, use the same name used on the CBC roster. If possible, use your CBC email. This is the hyperlink to this specific class. I have 7 different classes this semester, and each one has their own different website name. So you can't just log on and go, yeah, I'm just going to get to my micro page. That's not how it's going to work. So this one that has your section numbers attached to it, that's going to be the one that is for this class. Now, if you are having issues with Connect working, I can't get it to work, it's not opening the quiz, it's just scrolling and scrolling. In that case, you need to call McGrawHill Connect and get help from them. I can do a lot of things, but I don't know computers. So when it comes to you need this attachment or you need to update this, I have no idea, but they will. So there's the 1-800 number. If you don't want to talk on the phone, there's a chat that you can join. The hours that it's available, Eastern Standard Time, are also right here. If you call me and say, Miss Williams, it's not working, the first thing I'm going to tell you is, did you call the 1-800 number? Or the first thing I'm going to ask you is, did you call the 1-800 number? While I can reset things so that you can take them, I don't know how to fix those types of issues. So please, if you're having issues with your computer not interfacing correctly or anything like that, call them first so that they can fix it. And then when you need something reset, then text me and let me know, and I will reset things. Reset things. Now below that, we've got my Lifesize information. Lifesize is FaceTime. It allows us to interact where I can help you right at that moment if you need help understanding why something happens, or if you need a better explanation of how things work. That's what that's for. I will be online at specified times. So From 11 to 12 on Monday and Wednesday, I will discuss micro specifically, whether it's lecture or lab, doesn't matter. And then from 12 to 2 and 3:30 to 5, those are going to be my tutoring hours, where if you need help, you are more than welcome to log on, and I will be happy to help you answer questions. If you need to meet at a different time than these blocks of time, just tell me. Text me, say, hey, Miss Williams, I do need to meet with you. I need help with something, but I can't meet during that time. If it's 8 o'clock in the morning, if it's 7 at night, we can get that set up. I just need you to tell me so that we can kind of coordinate our schedules so I can help you when you need the help. Now, if no students show up in Lifesize within 10 minutes, I will log off. So let's say I log on at 12 and no one shows up. By 12:10, I'm gonna log off. I have learned since the pandemic has started that I can log on and sit there for an hour doing nothing but staring at my computer screen, or I can kind of give a time frame of I'll wait this long and then I'm gonna log off and I can continue working on the things that I need to work on. But let's say that you can't meet at 12, but you can meet at 12:40, right? Because it's still in that block of time. Text me and say, hey, Miss Williams, I can't come at 12, but I can come at 12:40. Great, I'll see you then. I'll set an alarm on my phone for 12:35 when I will log on, and then at 12:40, we can talk about what you need help with. If you need to get to this, here's the link for a computer. If you're using the cell phone app, that is actually going to be that extension. From what I understand on the app, it asks you for an extension. That's what that is. And again, micro tutoring specifically is Monday, Wednesday from 11 to 12 p.m. Under course information, there's course content right here. This is where you will find the bulk of your information for this course as far as quizzes and things like that. For lab, I will only be opening the assignments weekly. So you saw in the schedule that we've got certain labs on certain weeks. Those will be the things that will open on Sunday, and they will be open until Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Okay? And in these folders, you will have your virtual labs, you'll have your quizzes, you'll have all of the information that you need to basically successfully complete the course. And every time that I post something, I will let you know. So this is the first real lab that we're doing. You'll notice that there's a PowerPoint for that lab. There's recorded lectures that go along with that lab, virtual labs, and a lab quiz. This is going to be kind of the standard for what you will see. That first folder with your syllabus quiz is going to be a little bit different because it's got safety and things like that associated with it that aren't really experiments, but more of this is how you keep yourself safe in the lab. Here, though, you're actually seeing what you will see in each lab. All right, so under course content, you have announcements. So announcements. This is how I communicate with you as a whole, as a class. If, let's say, for some reason the lab is shut down, let's say we couldn't get to the building or something along those lines, we're kind of lucky in the fact that we have everything already recorded, so it's already kind of available online. But if something were to happen, I don't know, Connect isn't working for a week, then those types of announcements will be there for you to read. Hey, so that you know this is an issue. As well, anytime that I post new things, I announce it here with this is posted and this is the date that it's due and the time. So you need to keep up with announcements. Now below announcements is my grades. All of the grades that you have that I have graded and posted are going to be here. In your syllabus, you have a breakdown of what your grade is going to be. This is how you find those grades so that you can calculate your own grades. I am not going to calculate your grade for you. You have the ability to do that, so you will do that. But if you want all your grades and what you have thus far, this is where you look, okay? Now I realize there's something that says weighted total there. The thing you have to keep in mind is the way that Blackboard works. It does not calculate it correctly until you have everything filled in. So your practical is pretty late, your unknown report is pretty late, and those 2 grades are missing for quite a chunk of time. So the grade that it's calculating is just your virtual labs and your quizzes and your Q&A sheets, which aren't the bulk of your grade. Keep that in mind and make sure that when you calculate your grade, you're calculating it as if those 2 things are zeros for right now. Now, right below my grades is mail. And I said this before, again, mail. I've said this before, I'm not great with email. I'm sorry, but I'm just not. But if you do want to email me, this is how you do it. See, create message right here. You're going to click that. You're going to click the to button right here. You're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. There is my name, Ronica Williams, instructor. You're going to click my name, and then you are going to go to this arrow and click it over to recipients. Scroll down. There's the subject. There's the body of the email. Feel free. But again, if you want a quick response to that email, you have to text me to let me know it's there. Again, if you text me to let me know it's there, it might just be easier for you to text me what your question is or what you need help with. This phone will give you a response within a few hours, if not within a few minutes. That may take a few weeks because I'm terrible at checking email. I do my best to check email, but I'm bad at it. I'm not gonna fib to you about that.